No way. No way. No way. The Montreal Canadiens have just defeated the Maple Leafs. It's a comeback. And I'm nowhere to be found. I watched a little bit of this game. I'm actually at a friend's house right now. I'm jacking his Logitech, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is a Logitech headset, so everything sounds different, but that's okay, because it's the heart that matters behind the video, isn't it? The Canadiens won! They just defeated the Maple Leafs. The Canadiens now have their first win on the year in what was ultimately a comeback. That was it. It's a comeback in this one. And I think, you see, if I went into a full in-depth analysis on this game, we'd take forever, because I still want to go over all the goals, and I still want to go over the shootout, which is how this thing ultimately ends. It's a 6-5 decision. Oh my goodness, the Montreal Canadiens really just... Wow. If there was a game for Carey Price to be Carey Price, it was this game. For sure. Things start out in the first period, in the first minute of the game, pretty much. It's Lehkonen over to Domi, getting things on the board a minute and 8 seconds in. It's a really fast rush. That's Domi's first on the year, assisted by Lehkonen and Gallagher. Lehkonen's got 2 assists on this season after this goal. And that was a really great start for the Habs. Really great to see the Montreal Canadiens just get on the board quickly. Obviously, it's a guy like Domi. You want to see that happen. And overall, that was a nice start for the Habs, but then everything kind of fell apart afterwards because the Leafs got 4 straight goals. 4 straight goals for Toronto. It's Matthews who gets things off with an absolute rocket. Seriously, oh my goodness, Auston Matthews, the guy can absolutely shoot. We all knew this. We all knew that he was really great, but he gets one by Carey Price here. It was a quick one. Riley's up to 5 assists on the year with this goal. Ceci has an assist too. So Matthews on his 4th on the year brings things tied up. That's just 4 minutes after the Montreal goal that started the entire scoring fest here. Then just a few minutes later, give it about 10, it's Alexander Kerfoot, a one-timer right in front. He's at the hash marks, Carey Price is down, and it beats Price. Great shot, great goal over there, and it's 2-1 Toronto after this point. So it's certainly not ideal for the Habs, but going into the second period, things kind of open up a little bit, but overall, it's Trevor Moore with his 2nd on the year who gets the only goal of the period. It's 3-1 Toronto at this point. Trevor Moore's 2nd on the year. Mikheyev gets an assist, which is awesome to see. He's been a fan favorite there in his short stint in Toronto. He's the guy with the nice little pass for the 2-on-1. So he gets an assist. Kerfoot gets an assist too. That's 2 points for Kerfoot in the first 2 periods of the game. And then by the time William Nylander scores in the 3rd period, things kind of look grim for the Montreal Canadiens. It's a power play goal for Nylander, and this one was pretty nice too. It's held in at the point by Kerfoot, sent over to Barrie. Barrie finds Willie Knee, and Nylander comes in with a shot. It's just... yeah, it just goes right through Price, I'm not gonna lie. That one was kind of a doozy, and it felt really bad to watch as a primary Habs fan in this game. But the Habs came back. They came right back, and all they needed was 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that's it. First off, it's Drouin. He gets his 1st on the year, assisted by Domi. This one was quite fortuitous, because it bounces out in front, and it goes off of what looks to be Byron, but then it really doesn't look like Byron. Instead, it's the Maple Leafs. Yeah, it's kicked out into his own net by the Leafs defender over there. Morgan Riley, man, feels bad. Feels pretty bad, but, yeah. It's a Drouin goal, and sure, Drouin goals sometimes look prettier than that, but hey, I'm pretty sure he'll take it because it's now a 4-2 hockey game, and it still doesn't really look like the Habs have any great chance of coming back, but give it a minute, because 1 goal later, the 2nd goal of the game for the Habs, it's Danault and Weber who get involved on this Gallagher play. It's an offensive face-off for the Habs. It's one back over to Weber, who takes a shot, the rebound comes out, and Gallagher Brendan Gallagher, 2 straight goals for Montreal a minute apart. Gallagher's first on the year. The Habs are within 1, and it looks really, really dangerous for the Maple Leafs at this point. Then, give it about 7 minutes or so, because 7 minutes later, Jeff Petry gets his first on the year. We needed a Petry goal this season. Petry is a great offensive threat. And things start out on the power play. It's a penalty shot here for Jeff Petry, which is kind of crazy how he got this one, but hey, he got it anyway. He comes in on net, and with a nice little drag and shoot, just at the hash marks, he goes glove side on Hutchinson. Petry ties the game, and at this point, I think Toronto is kind of frozen in their tracks because, hey, they had a 4-1 lead, they blew a 4-1 lead, it's 4-4, and the Habs still have a power play. Now, they didn't score on that power play. Instead, Danault was able to get things up just a little bit later off of another offensive draw in the Maple Leafs zone. And it's really, really similar to the Gallagher goal. The puck bounces out in front, and this time it's Danault who's in the slot, who backhands that right by Hutchinson. You can see the absolute joy on Tatar, on Gallagher, on all of those guys. And this is a team that just came back from being down by 3 to having a 1-goal lead with approximately 5 minutes to go in the game. So that was kind of noteworthy, and overall, the Habs were just super, super electrified. The Canadiens so close to winning a game that they were so close to losing, it looked like. But then it's Auston Matthews. Matthews gets his 5th on the year, Barrie has his 4th assist, and Marner has his 3rd assist on the year. Those guys have so many points. It's an empty net situation for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this one kind of comes really, really quickly. It's a slap shot, there's a bounce in front, Carey Price is moving over, but Matthews gets the shot away. The game is tied, it's 5-5, we're going to overtime. For the most part, Carey Price was amazing in this third period and in the overtime too. 2 breakaways for Marner and for Tavares, each stopped by Carey Price. Price with a really good chance on Marner afterwards towards the end of the overtime. But ultimately, the Canadiens can't capitalize on the power play that takes place in extra time, and neither can the Leafs. Not to say that they had a power play in overtime, but the Leafs couldn't do anything. Because Carey Price was a brick wall. An absolute brick wall, and because of that, we're going over into a shootout. This one started out quickly. It's very, very quick. It's a save on Auston Matthews to start things off, and then it's Paul Byron's turn. Byron comes in, a little 5-hole shimmy-shammy, and he gets the Habs on the board. Mitch Marner is saved. Tavares is saved. And the Canadiens win, which is so, so weird. The Habs just pulled off a comeback. It's the first Habs comeback of the year, and it came against Toronto, in one of the more anticipated games this season. Oh my goodness, the Habs needed that one. The Habs absolutely needed that one, and overall it comes off of the back of Carey Price and the entire supporting staff of the Habs. Kotkaniemi, nah, he didn't get a point in this one, but the guys who scored were definitely the guys that we want to see scoring. Drouin, Gallagher, Petry, Danault, and then, hey, Byron in the shootout, and Domi at the beginning of the game. It's a first for a lot of these guys, and these are the ones that we want to see leading this team going throughout the season, because these are the guys that are going to help the Habs make the playoffs if it does go that route. But tonight, we saw it. We saw the first real piece of this Habs team coming together and storming together for a victory, because, hey, it feels much, much better when it's against Toronto than it does when it's against, I don't know, Dallas or Vegas or Columbus or whatever. No disrespect to those teams, but it being against Toronto makes the win seem a little bit more sweeter than it really is. The Canadiens now have 1 win on the year. There's a first goal for a ton of these guys in this game, and overall, Matthews, Tavares, and Marner, they couldn't get it done in a game where Carey Price stood on his head towards the end. Hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.